what is it that fuels the elite? Whereupon is the foundation of success built? For the select few that reach the pinnacle of Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship, the answers lie in the beginning. Conquering a grueling 17-round schedule that stretches across the United States is not a given, it is earned. And that process begins at an early age. For those hoping to earn a spot in the most prestigious championship in the world and race in front of millions of fans across the country, they must first prove their merit. In Monster Energy Supercross, those accolades are built in the Supercross Futures AMA National Championship, a 10-round series that offers the up-and-coming stars of the sport a chance to compete on the same tracks as their heroes. It is here where the future of Monster Energy Supercross is born. It is here where the next Ricky Carmichael or Jeremy McGrath will be found. Welcome to the future. For riders like five-time Monster Energy Supercross champion Ricky Carmichael, the opportunity to race Supercross before turning pro was not there. It's why the current crop of top pros feels Supercross Futures provides a perfect stepping stone for the next generation.
Supercross Futures is an awesome program that allows amateur racing at Supercross venues the day after the Supercross races. I think it's a fabulous opportunity for up-and-coming Supercross riders that eventually want to be in Monster Energy Supercross racing to get their feet wet.
I am super jealous of the Supercross Futures. I wish I got that opportunity when I was a kid. Me, I never even raced arena cross coming up. I went pro when I was 16, so you know things happen quick, and I didn't have any experience with Supercross.
Back in the day, I mean, even now, it doesn't matter if you're 10 or 15. Like being able to ride in a stadium, even though it's not a full Supercross race, but getting a feel for it would have been huge back in the day.
Well, I think in these races, I not only watch for how they can perform under this pressure. Do they make mistakes? Do they stay calm? And how they present themselves. For us, we really look for guys that are carry themselves professional and are good role models for the future.
So not only is it great for racing and the experience that you get from racing on the Supercross track, but it was the other stuff too.
Things change when you're in front of a crowd, in front of cameras, and to see how they react under those circumstances is invaluable for us.
Going into that stadium and just having that feeling, I mean, it's intimidating, especially when you're a young guy.
The journey starts young, it's full commitment from family, rider, team. It's a full-time job. These guys are not playing around.
Supercross tracks are a lot bigger, and the whole pace of racing was different, and then not to mention, obviously, the 60,000 fans that watch.
You're looking for a work ethic, at a young age. If it's instilled in their program at a young age, it will carry through to the rest of their life. And, some kids have that early on, and they go on to be quite successful.
In October, the best Supercross riders in the world compete for the chance to win $1 million, the largest purse in motorcycle racing, at the Monster Energy Cup in Las Vegas. One rider hoping to leave a mark in the 250 Supercross Futures class at the Monster Energy Cup in Las Vegas is Australia's Jett Lawrence. The Lawrence family sacrificed everything to give Jett and his older brother Hunter a chance at Supercross glory.
It's kind of a little bit of a chance for the amateurs to show themselves a little bit, get on national TV a little bit, and show what they're capable of, so then other teams can also see what they have when they go on pro and that stuff. So it's a good thing to try and get your name out there.
To help in the development of his transition from amateur to pro, the Lawrence family has enlisted the help of renowned trainer and AMA Hall of Famer Johnny O'Mara.
They got my donuts. It's all good. He did his job. Best skate. Hit it. Yacht. Thing was so small yesterday. Well, I'm guessing it's the same.
It's the same thing.
You know, it'd be sick if you went from there and you jumped to here. Dude, fastest lap time ever.
Yeah, you didn't hit the manager's tower.
So we just got done with walking the track, and track wasn't too bad. It was A little bit greasy at first, but I'd rather be like that than dry. But track's got a few difficult sections, so we'll just see how it is and hopefully just go off that. So could almost go triple in from the other way.
Where the guys were?
Yeah?
Yeah. It would be hard on the 250. You'd have to rail the
Hold my
outside.
flippy cup. The rhythm lane after the tunnel, I was thinking I could go maybe double, triple quad, but I don't know if my 250 has enough power for that. I don't even know what 450 does, so I think we just might leave that out. We don't need no broken ankles today, so yeah.
Lawrence is the favorite heading into the two main events.
To get that extra distance, a 450, you'd have that mile per hour in the air and therefore carried on.
I think he went good. Small little tip over. Hopefully got that out of the way. Some improvements to be made, but still position 1, so.
I like the sand section, it's pretty fun. I'm having a lot of fun with that.
He's okay. He knows what he's got to work on. He's not too bummed on it. Just kind of joking about it, really. Like, oh, I got the first crash out of the way. Hopefully we don't got to do any more of that.
I think it'll be really good for the night show, so it's going not too bad so far, only one stack, hopefully that's the last one, so we'll see how it goes.
Unlike his factory connection Amsoil Honda teammate Jett Lawrence, California's Carson Mumford has been practicing his Supercross skills for a number of years. As he gets closer to his pro career, he's using Supercross Futures as a springboard.
Supercross Futures is cool. I like riding in the stadium, just riding the same dirt as the pros and stuff. It's definitely hard because you ride some little sections and some bigger sections that are made for the 50s and the vet riders and stuff. It's really cool, I enjoy it. You can hear when someone makes a mistake, the crowd goes crazy. You get the jitters on the line and stuff, and it's insane how rough the track really gets, and it gets pretty good ruts and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's really cool that Monster Cup, we get to do that. I just feel like I love doing motocross so much, and Supercross, just love riding dirt bikes. Yeah, I want to win motocross, Supercross, whatever there is.
One of the first riders to use Supercross Futures to drive them into their pro career is Peirce Brown, who's set to make his Monster Energy Supercross 250SX debut with Troy Lee Design's KTM in 2020.
Futures to me is just a stepping stone up to the big show, which is the Supercross, which is what everyone dreams of being a part of one day. And yeah, I've raced Monster Cup twice before, and it's a Supercross track, but it doesn't have loops. There's a catapult and like maybe a 002. But the Futures races, they were like the same layout that the pros raced the day before. We were riding close to the same track as them. So just to get your feet wet on that, riding in a stadium, that's such a big help and such a big part of getting ready for the next step for the pros. I'm blessed that I got a chance to race the Futures, because it would be crazy to just jump into like a stadium race like that with no preparation, without being in the stadium before. Luckily I think I did 3 rounds last year, and racing the stadium, it wasn't a packed stadium, but there were still people in it. Like, you could still feel like the energy, and just that in itself, that's experience, and I need experience, so that's like all I could have asked for. Me, my parents, everyone behind me, we've sacrificed our whole life for this. We moved out to MTF when I was 13 or 14 just to get to the next step, and luckily everything's worked out so far. You have to sacrifice your whole life because that's what everyone around you, or everyone you're racing does. That's been my dream my whole life. But from the first time I watched the Supercross race on TV, I just knew something clicked in me, like that's what I wanted to do and that's what I wanted to be. So I've spent basically my whole life trying to get to that point, and at this point there's no turning back. So.
It is a long process, taking hold not over days and weeks, but years, eventually enveloping entire lives. Supercross becomes them. For Ferry, The sport was ingrained in him from a young age as he traveled with his father, 1997 125 Supercross East Region champion Tim Ferry.
When I was born, really my dad was still racing and in his prime, so I would go to all of the races and I was playing with the little dirt bikes, having fun with it. So I ended up getting like an XR50 with training wheels, and I just rode that. I would ride at my grandparents' backyard like every day, and I just loved it. So it just kind of took off from there, and I just kept riding more.
You want me going like this?
I personally didn't ever have plans of Evan riding, you know, and then riding kind of happened. I was trying to steer him away from riding because I knew what kind of commitment was for me to compete at this level that we're at. It takes a lot of work. 54 is the fastest time right now. Hey, get with Hayden and get up to speed. We got Monster Cup right around the corner.
Honestly, I'm not really coming in with any nerves. I'm pretty confident. If you're in the grass and you hit the brakes, you're gonna be like Tokyo Drift, like sliding on your face. Just gonna go out there, have fun. I mean, when you're having fun, that means you're going fast and you're probably winning, so I'm gonna try to go have fun.
He's a little more nervous today, I think. Yeah. We got it on the track, and then you got all the people walking the track and looking at it. Just unsure because it's a brand new track. When you're riding a practice track, you're used to it, so.
Yeah. But that's part of it too. Like,
yeah.
You got to be able to adapt to new tracks.
Yeah, exactly.
But we could almost probably go roll 2-2-2 so you can 3 out.
Team came up and they told Kenny, they're like, okay, so his mechanic Pat's gonna take him to the gate. Are you okay with that? And Timmy's like, all right.
I don't
He was
mind.
like, I don't care. He's like, it's talk
Well,
that might have a problem.
I had to give it up to him.
He can tell me what I need to do like before I go to the gate, but I think it would almost be better for him to almost be in the stands because then he can see more of the track. So when I come off the track, he can tell me like what I need to do when I get off the track. Honestly, it's pretty beefy. Like I didn't expect it to be that like peaky on the track, but I feel like it really separates a lot of people. You can tell like you're coming through lappers almost second lap, so it's pretty tough. But if I pull the whole shot, then I have a pretty good chance of actually pulling everything off. So I'm really excited and just ready to go off the gate.
Florida's Colton Eigenmann's future was never preordained. Due to his schoolwork, Eigenmann rarely had the chance to practice. Yet, through sheer determination, he's found success in Supercross futures.
I'm looking forward to getting out there and racing in front of all those people that are gonna be here. I'm definitely looking forward to it, to show people what we're made out of. Coming in here, I just gotta ride how I've been riding, and you gotta get a good start. Just have fun with it, you know, just hit your marks and you'll be good. Put in the work. Work my heart out, honestly. You know, just wake up early, you know, go to the track, do everything I can at the track, you know, so you leave the track and go to the gym, and by the time Thursday comes in the week, you don't want to go to the gym. You're like, dude, I'm over it, you know. That's the biggest thing that's helped me, you know. I line up on the gate with confidence, knowing that I've done everything I can to be as good as I can. When I was in school, I'd get off school early Wednesday, only Wednesday I'd get off. So I'd get off at 2:15, and it was me and my mechanic at the time, Derek Johnson. He would pick me up, we'd go straight to the track, and I'd put in, you know, 2 15-minute motos, and that was it for the week. And then I'd come out on the weekend, and I'd still win. It's nice to say that I graduated, you know, high school, and you know, all those friends, you know, I wouldn't have it any other way. I made a lot of friendships, you know, it's been good.
Get off the gate as soon as he lets you go, and see who runs up front.
Like any relationship, that between a father and son is filled with ups and downs. But for Colton and his dad Conrad, Supercross has been a bond that ties their relationship together.
I think it's just like any relationship. It's got its ups and its downs. We've come from the races before and haven't spoken a word, and other times it's so gratifying between the both of us. I mean, it's certainly got us close together. I wouldn't trade any of it, actually. I'm going to stand behind and go over the mechanics area. Love you.
When I was little, I remember going to Daytona and watching Ricky and Reed and Stewart all go at it, and it was epic. You know, as a 6-year-old, I'm like, dude, this is insane. The main thing I like about the sport is just me and my bike, and when the gate drops, it's up to me to win.
For Georgia's Kobe Hefner, the curiosity in the sport was sparked at the Atlanta Supercross. Now one of the top amateurs in the country, Hefner hopes the Supercross Futures program can propel him into a pro career.
Me and my dad went to Atlanta Supercross when they had the KTM 50 Junior Challenge. And I looked at my dad and I told him that I could beat every single kid out there. Never even rode a dirt bike then. And he went out and bought me a TTR 90. And then we went to Durhamtown in Georgia. And they have a Pee Wee track there. So he bet me if I jumped every tabletop out there that he'd buy me a race bike and we'd start racing. I went out the next lap and jumped everything. Didn't even know what I was doing, just getting sketchy, just having fun. It just always came natural to me, so I just enjoy it, really. I love the rush when we get to try new jumps, big jumps, and just in the heat of the moment racing, really. I mean, when you win, it's just, I don't even know how to describe it, honestly, but there's no feeling like it, so. When you're training, you have to think about the reward at the end of the day. You have to know what you're sacrificing for, so when you're pushing, you gotta do everything you can to be ready to win. Honestly, my life's pretty much dedicated to motocross. Anytime I can do other things, I try to, but it's not often. I like fishing. I mean, I love collecting shoes. My sister, she's always been into fashion and stuff, so she probably got me started on that. I like white, flashy stuff, so anything that pops out.
How are you, buddy? You doing good?
Ricky Carmichael's my go-to guy just because of the person he is, and of course he's the GOAT, but I trained down in the goat farm for a little while, and he's just a super humble, nice guy as well. The one thing Ricky said is every time you're on the bike, it's everything you have, don't ever slack. Honestly, I would like to go pro. I want top 5 both motos. Anything better than that's just extra. I try to keep a good character and always be nice to everyone. I just try to be a humble person, help people when I can. Hard work and pushing every day and every time you're on the bike. So, oh, it's fun. I love it.
The road taken to Supercross Futures comes in a variety of forms, each one providing its own unique set of circumstances, each providing its own story. Immediately being thrust in the spotlight often comes with an overwhelming burden. But for Hayden Deegan, son of former Supercross race winner and Metal Militia co-founder Brian Deegan, it's a setting he relishes.
I just want to be able to be in front of a crowd. I like racing in front of crowds and just having fun. Some guys are just like nervous, and that just prepares you. When I was little, I was probably like maybe 2. I was riding a bicycle already with no training wheels.
At first we weren't sure quite what he was gonna do, and he just rode a dirt bike for fun. Then I saw it start clicking, and then all of a sudden I'm like, man, he started riding a dirt bike really good. We took him to a local race, and it was on.
Supercross definitely gets you ready for a tight track. You gotta be super precise.
Stay right with them, tight, 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 squeeze them down and come down that hill and go inside of them.
My dad raced back in the day. Their style has changed from how they rode back in the day and now.
Just don't go inside after the tunnel if you don't have to.
So he has some good tips to tell me, so I like it. I have a Supercross track at my house, just ride every day when I get home from school. I'm getting pretty good at ruts. Definitely got the whoops down. Just hit the whoops over and over and over, and yeah, focus on those a lot.
Where is it the worst?
It's just always like this.
Then let's fix the sag.
I like going to the gym because I like staying fit and in shape, so I never get tired during my motos. I play on a football team, so we do a lot of running and stuff, so I think it's good for your endurance. Got like Dungey, just his like smoothness. Roxon, he has like 2 different modes. He can be a cruise or you can charge.
Supercross is hard. It's a daily grind. It's training, eating right, mental games.
Supercross, your mind has to be in it like 100%. You just have to be like on the speed always, making any mistakes, and you're kind of done.
Hoping to become the latest in a long line of siblings competing in Monster Energy Supercross, Cole and Dylan Blecka's foundation for success was laid at an early age by their father, himself a former racer.
I got into Futures because I see all the professionals doing it. Like, I kind of want to succeed like them.
Well, it's always been my dream. I look up to Ryan Dungey, how he's been able to have his career, and I really want to be like him.
My dad had a dirt bike in the garage, and I was like, what's that? And then he was like, that's a dirt bike.
I was AA Enduro Pro, so I rode dirt bikes my entire life. My wife was a moto sis, so she's been all around the country with her brother racing.
My dad saw that we were interested and got us some bikes for Christmas.
I was constantly wanting to ride and just like go fast.
And when I put them on 2 wheels, even on bicycles at 2 years old, it was apparent.
My dad raced some off-road things, and we went to an off-road.
And those were fun for a little while, and then we're like, okay, we're dominating those.
Boys were at the top of the ranks immediately.
You know, you already have that experience under your belt.
It helps us for when we go to the pros so that we know what is coming for us.
That's the appeal to me as a coach, to get them in that field so it's just never new.
You're not going to be as nervous.
We have a track in Colorado, our own Supercross track to practice on.
We go to the track, put our motos in, have some fun. It's an amazing experience. Packed stadium, it's always cool to go out there and race in front of them.
We're trying to be like the pros, to set ourselves up to be on the top box and to go to the pros.
Growing up in Indonesia, Kelana Humphrey's life was consumed by waves and jumps. His father, founder of moto brand Dusex Machina, was soon clearing off an abandoned track for Kelana to learn the sport. Now residing in the US, Kelana is hoping to become the first pro in Supercross from the island.
Supercross Future is super fun. You get to race in the stadiums that all the pros race. It feels like you're racing with them.
So this is good practice. Take your time, find your rhythms, find out where you can get your speed.
When I walked in the stadium, the track looked so good. I was super stoked. I had a bike for a while, I just never rode it, and then after I watched Supercross, I got all amped up, and so I just kept riding and riding every single day.
My wife and I were on our honeymoon in Bali. I came across this little kid that raced, and they told me he has to take a boat over to Jakarta to race a series over there, which is like a full day just to get there. I'd love to help you guys out from the FMF side of things. And flash forward, 5 years, and he's living over here now, and it's pretty cool.
Bike feel good? No bogs?
No, it's Krispy Kreme like I told you. It's gonna take a lot of hard work, a lot of preparation.
All right, if you win, I'll slide you a freaking yogurt, all right?
Blood, sweat, and tears, but it's been a fun process.
Yeah.
It's my dudette, Carrie Shear.
Yeah, I run a training facility out of Marietta. What are we doing this practice that we didn't do last practice?
Elbows up, drive through the second.
Okay, so let's fix those things and then we'll fix the next thing for the next practice, okay? Basically talk about a lot of stuff in the beginning. He has to execute it for the next practice, and he did it really absolutely perfectly.
My strength off the bike is that I like to do a lot of sports, skateboarding or surfing. You see me go during the dragon's breath? Do you like how I jumped into the dragon's breath?
Yeah.
What I learned from Supercross Futures, you kind of have to be patient in like the beginning of the race, get good starts. Sometimes in the races it goes till night, and it's really cool because you turn on the lights and it's like just like you feel like you're lining up for a main event. It would just be awesome to race a Supercross. It would just mean the world to me.
In all great Supercross tales, there's always one person that changes the course of the story forever. A performance that ensures they will learn the name and always remember the rider. In Supercross Futures, a new generation of female competitors are hoping to change history. Hannah Hodges has been competing against male competitors since her days in Supermini. Now, Hodges is hoping to become just the second female in history to make a main in Monster Energy Supercross, all while trying to balance work and riding.
My mom and dad sold my bike, and as soon as they sold it, I started asking for another bike, and they're like, we're not buying you another bike, we just sold it because you never touched it. So I finally convinced them to buy me another bike. By the time I wanted to ride that bike, I was too big for it. I started to get pretty committed, and I was doing other sports and such at the time. I picked one sport and it ended up being this, and worked hard from here. I think it's a great stepping stone for all of us to be able to go out there, ride on the same track as the pros, just kind of get that experience in before you're thrown in with the big guys. I don't have the normal schedule as most racers. Mom and dad aren't paying for everything, so I work a normal job, I train kids all the time, and it takes a lot for me. I wake up every morning at 6 and go to a normal job, and then I come and put the work in and have very long days, and I'm ready for bed at the end of the day. It means a lot more when I'm standing up on the podium with the #1 plate, knowing that I put all that work in and that I did everything I possibly could to be up there.
Growing up in North Carolina, everything was a race for Jordan Jarvis. Highly competitive since a young age, Jarvis now has her sights set on Monster Energy Supercross. After graduating high school in June, the 8-time amateur champion is determined to earn her Supercross license on Supercross Futures.
Supercross Futures is an awesome event to introduce new riders to the style of Supercross racing. It really betters everyone coming up and giving them a chance to really feel what it's like to be in a stadium and possibly one day have people cheering your name or clapping for you as you're going by. It's awesome.
From the time Jordan was like 2.5, 3 years old, everything was a race. A race to eat breakfast, a race to get upstairs, a race to brush your teeth, a race for everything. And when she was 3, she was fearless.
I started out on the very bottom on a PW50, and those were the days. I was on the national Cobra team. That was awesome. I was the first girl ever to do that. I ended up getting too tall for a 65, and I had to get off. Those days on the 50s, they started it all. Just thinking back to where I was then is just crazy.
She's a phenomenal jumper. She jumped things on a 85 that I didn't jump back in the 90s on a 125.
It's been really awesome to have that many younger girls or guys that look up to me at 18 is unbelievable. I never thought I would have been where I'm at today. I knew what I wanted to do and I knew that I would accomplish it someday, but I didn't expect it to be this quickly. A lot of people are out here saying that I'm going to be the first girl in both if I do make it. My goal isn't to become the first girl.
We've achieved every goal we've gone after so far. I think she's probably the winningest female rider of her age.
My ultimate goal for not just this season, but for the rest of my career is to go out and race with everybody else and get top 20s and make a main and prove that I deserve to be out there with all the rest of the guys. It's going to be tough, but we're ready to push through it.
Taylor Allred's path to Supercross Futures always seemed like the logical outcome. Growing up in Utah, Allred began riding at 2. By 4, she was already racing. Now, all while balancing high school and racing, she's reached the top of the women's class.
Supercross Futures is really good for us women. We're able to kind of get the experience just like any other amateur of what it's going to be like when we turn pro.
Feeling pretty good. I'm excited for today. You know, the track was pretty good in practice, felt really good. I think I was the fastest in qualifying, so hopefully come out with the championship.
I love riding because it's like an outlet for me, you know. I'm still like every other kid. I go to school, so it's nice to, on the weekends or sometimes during the weekdays, just to get on my bike. And when I put my helmet on, it's just like a whole different world for me.
You know, I'm just looking at the rhythm, like all the corners, because throughout each moto, you know, the track develops differently. So I like to, you know, come up here every once in a while just to see like what's changed or what's the same.
My favorite rider would probably be Adam Cincerello because like his style and just his whole personality is super cool, super humble, and that's kind of what I try to lean towards is, you know, take out your aggression on the track. Don't be rude in the pits or anything. Just have a nice, positive attitude with everyone.
Just quick feet and get the bike under control, quick out of the corners. That's what you want to focus on. So that top sweeper especially, remember push, weight that outside peg, push with your toe back. That finish line is going to boot you up high, far, so don't over jump up.
We're so much alike that like he relates to what I need to do to be the best and try and be the best. So we have our moments for sure, but we definitely work together to try and be the best, so it's fun.
She was a little timid at first, and then the track was real slick. So I just told her, hit what she can, and she loves to race. Practice, not so much.
I want to try and be the best that I can be, and it's really easy to get discouraged in this sport. So I've kind of adapt the mindset that, you know, anything's possible. And when I put my helmet on, I'm just the same as all the guys out there. You know, like I don't want to be the best female racer. I want to be the best racer out there. So.
The next group of stars is always right around the corner, set to disrupt the current pecking order. Billed is one of the next in line. Ryder DeFrancesco has been handling the pressure from an early age. His hope now, to use Supercross Futures as a path to pro stardom.
My dad would always go to race, so I'd be like, hey Dad, can I ride too? My dad rode from when he was my age all the way up, and he rode flat track and did motocross, so I was like born into it. He got me a bike and said go ride, and we'd go ride like 6 times a week, like one day off, and we would just spin laps or we'd go out to the field. I think it was just mostly just riding every day and just having fun with it. When I was out there, you could hear the fans, yeah. Like I was up in the mix kind of like the first couple laps, and like you'd make a pass and like the crowd would go crazy. Jumping next to each other and like getting used to like what the pros do and like battling like we were is fun. The commitment that goes into motocross is training, like blood, sweat, and tears, like trying your hardest every single time you're on the bike and trying hardest at your everything. Really, like anything that deals with Supercross, you always have to put 100% in. I want to race Supercross because just being under the lights and all those people coming and they're watching you, the whole Supercross family, just bring everyone together and it's all in a big stadium.
Ready to rip? Good?
You put so much work into it. Like right now, it's like my biggest goal and my biggest dream is to race Supercross.
Growing up in the Supercross hotbed of Florida, Kaci Cochran began riding since the age of 3, soon on the path to prominence. But Kaci's goals extend well beyond racing. He wants to be a role model for future riders.
Supercross Futures has been great for me as a mother. I think that it's going to really help prepare Kaci for the next step because it's such a different skill set than motocross. It's a lot of rhythm and timing and things like that that these little guys aren't subjected to.
I think it's gonna help out a lot for growing up and going into real Supercross. It's crazy because you walk out and when you're riding you can just look around and see all the stadium. It's just super fun.
My entire childhood was growing up in a motorcycle shop. My dad was a professional road racer. The rule is everybody rides a motorcycle the first day home from the hospital when you're born.
I like how all the rhythms are super technical and you have to be really precise to get every step on, step off, and every double, triple, and loops are super fun as well to just try and get on top of them. It's just a great experience for everyone to enjoy and have fun.
We try to stay focused on where we're at, and we also try to still let him be a kid. It's very important to me that he gets to live a lifestyle that is full of things other than moto. We just want to keep doing everything we can do to get better, to get faster, and for Kaci to just be a good role model for the kids that are younger than him.
I would love to get to that elite level, just to be up there, because that's a dream of mine, to be able to race pro, and I just really want to work hard to be able to get there. But you just got to work and try and get to that point to be able to win.
The Voland name is royalty in Supercross. Brothers Talon and Tyson Voland enjoyed long, successful careers in Supercross, each a former race winner. Talon's son Max is now carrying on the family name. In 2018, Max went 1-1 at the Monster Energy Cup to claim the Supermini crown and is hoping to capture the Supercross Futures National Championship in 2019.
How I started riding was obviously my dad. He was a Supercross and motocross racer.
The one thing that we can bring to Max is obviously all the 40 years of experience between me and my brother racing at the highest level. I didn't think I'd have him do it, but man, I know everything about this sport, step by step.
My dad got me a BMX bike and we started doing BMX for 3 years. Then he got me a motocross bike after I got my balance and my skills down.
Family went all in, basically Grandpa, my brother, and myself. That's what we did and that's what we're doing.
Monster Cup was a great experience for me. I ended up going 1-1 on the night, but when you're sitting on the line, 30-second boards up, crowd's all standing up, got their cameras out, and I mean, you can see everyone out of your peripherals too. You see the whole stadium. I went out first moto, and my bike blew up like over the finish line. Still won the moto, and motor swap in like 15 minutes back of the truck, then we're back on the line for the second moto, and I ended up winning that one too. So it was a good experience overall on a crazy night. Racing Supercross is a whole nother level of intensity and aggression. You really got to go out there and throw it down for how many laps they give you.
And when he does have a bad race for whatever reason, the one good thing about it is I always have a worse story that I can share with him, you know, to help him learn from it.
It's a super gnarly, intense experience, super tight, super close racing. Kids love racing the same Supercross stadium. They think they're on the same track as the pros. It's great for the families and everyone. It's a great experience.
In October, the Monster Energy Cup in Las Vegas, Supercross gets a glimpse of what the future of the sport holds. The 250 Futures class provides a chance for the up-and-coming stars of the sport to showcase their talent. And for Australia's Jett Lawrence, it's his first time on the big stage.
Watch where those guys start, see what Tomac's down there did. AC. Let's go take care of business.
Tell him any last words. He knows what to do for 6 laps.
Damn, that start.
That's it.
Jett Lawrence looking to maybe get the whole shot. No, he swings wide. And instead, it's the 352 Swole who gets the Toyota whole shot here tonight.
I ran a little bit too hot into the first turn. I thought it was going to be a little bit more slippery than I thought. I think then I was second.
Lawrence charging back right now, trying to get second, and will do so from the 529 of Hefner. The battle is on now for this national title between these two at the front.
I think around the third lap, I ended up making the pass on Julie Swole.
A nice move by Jett Lawrence there, making the right decision.
He's closed back in now on Swole. He's right there.
I mean, he is right on the board.
Oh, inside! That could be the move. It is! New leader. Lawrence looking to go 1-1 and take the #1 plate. Jett Lawrence, take note of the name. He's a national champion as he wins the Supercross Futures 250 category and will take the national title and the #1 plate home from Vegas.
Jett did what he had to do. Solid, consistent laps and came out with both moto wins. I don't know what else we could ask for.
You want your son to win, you want them to reach the goal that they're working hard to reach, but you still, before that start drops, there's still that thing in your heart. It's like, oh, please be safe.
Yeah, won everything. It was fastest in all 3 practices today, and then 1-1. It couldn't have gone any better, so I'm happy with this. Plus, I got my donut, so I'm pumped.
For riders that fall into the 12 to 16 age group, the Supermini class at the Monster Energy Cup is the place to propel their careers. The spotlight on this night shines on Evan Ferry as he looks to join his father as a race winner in Monster Energy Supercross.
Here we go, their first shot under the bright lights of Vegas. The future stars are underway, and it's the 75 of Evan Ferry getting the whole shot on his Husqvarna.
What a start by Evan Ferry. Man, he is setting sail right now.
Evan Ferry making a huge statement here tonight.
He is so excited and amped, knowing that he is going to win in front of a sold-out crowd, a packed house here tonight at Sam Boyd Stadium.
First time out on that brand new Husqvarna, and he's a winner here. Evan Ferry takes race #1 of the Supercross Futures Supermini category.
Got out to an early lead, just rode my own race.
What was going through your head?
I don't even know what's going on right now, honestly. That's what was going through my head, but it was awesome. Like throwing the #1 to the crowd, and then sitting there doing all the interviews and the pictures, and my phone's blowing up. It's all surreal.
Two days after the Monster Energy Cup, 336 competitors from across the country filed into Sam Boyd Stadium to compete for their respective titles in the inaugural Supercross Futures AMA National Championship. With 24 titles on the line, the pressure is mounting for riders like Colton Eigenmann, who is looking to capture the college boy crowd.
to try to hook up to the left a little bit because they got all this all churned up. This is yours.
Going into it, you know, the things that I was so fired up that I was really ready. You know, I wanted it incredibly bad.
Breathe a little bit.
I was so fired up that I would have done anything to win that last race.
I love you, buddy.
And we're off and underway. And Eigenmann not going to get the whole shot, not the first one of the first turn, I should say, but he's got that tight inside line, sweeps it around, and he's got Colton Eigenmann taking over the lead early on in this one. Freeze in the number 2 spot. Look at this 3-wide drag race down Monster Alley. Out of the stadium they go. Colton out front on that JGR back RM Army Suzuki. Eigenmann out front leading the way with a 3.7 second lead. 59.1 his fastest lap. Eigenmann laying it down.
That's what it's all about.
He's looking at a possible 1-1 overall finish here for the national championship title in Open A. Can he hold on to it?
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
One final corner, up and over the roller. Checkered flag, your national champion, Open A, Colton Eigenmann. So Colton Eigenmann, your new national champion there in our Open A class here for Supercross Futures.
Love you. Good job.
This is your second win of today, keeping it consistent. How do you feel?
I felt good. I was a little upset about that first overall in the college board class. I really threw that one away. So I just tried to get a good start and, you know, run my own race. I was really aggressive that time. So yeah, it feels good.
It's actually for me quite emotional. I get into it racing. I'm into it. And I'm pumped. I'm one of the dads that don't stand around with my arms crossed, ice hollering, screaming. And when he does good, it makes me feel that everything we've invested into this to go down this road has just paid for itself.
With his father by his side, Hayden Deegan begins his quest for his first Supercross Futures National Championship in the 85cc class, where he'll face stiff competition from the best 9 to 15-year-olds in the world.
Just when you jump, when you double, triple, and single out, you know, send it out there and race through there, you know? Like when you kind of just, when you jump in like perfect and go, blah, 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 then you jump in just right to where your front and rear wheel touch the top and it goes, ta-ta, perfect, over that, and then you're gone. Nothing to lose, get it done. Big aggression, fast. First lap might be a little slick.
We are off and underway for our second moto here for 85cc 9 to 15. Yeah, this is going to be a good one. Track is nice and smooth here for these guys. The sand section, Jeremy Fapani with the early hole shot in this one. Julian Bomer in that number 2 spot. Hayden Deegan the 3. Fapani, your moto number 1, a winner here in this one. Looking for a 1-1 overall.
Julia Beamer and Hayden Deegan have a good battle for second and third into the tunnel and the rhythm section coming up.
Got up to a pretty decent start. I think it was like a third and made a few passes, got up in the second.
Oh, Deegan in the second. Wow. He gets around Beamer. So Hayden Deegan on the gas once again. And Monster Alley, he is pinning it.
Fapani's last lap, a 105.7. Deegan with a 106.2. This time by a 106.1 and a 104.8
nice
for Deegan. Wow.
Get him. Get him.
Deegan's going to cut to the inside. Fapani's going to go outside.
Go.
Oh, look at Deegan
and
straight across.
Pass. Yes, sir.
Wow.
He has got this track dialed today. Hayden Deegan taking the checkered flag.
He is now your 85cc 9 to 15 national champion.
Like 3 laps ago, I made a pass corner, and overall it was pretty good. Got a lead after that, and I'm pumped.
It's good, you know. If he didn't win this race, I feel kind of odd because that's what we trained for. He went out there and he basically made the pass for the lead, kind of like Jason Anderson style, like kind of parked this dude and
won the race. So overall, that's cool. I'm glad he at least won one championship, and it means a lot to us to win Supercross Futures Championship because that's what we do. We like Supercross.
Yeah, it's definitely a great experience, and it's always fun winning.
Kelana Humphrey's goal to become the first international rider to capture a Supercross Futures National Championship begins now, as he takes on a loaded 65cc class field.
Who's going to grab that hole shot? I believe that might be the 15 there. Dexter Seitz with the hole shot. Kelana Humphrey taking over the lead now. Humphrey up into the #1 spot. Humphrey finished first in Moto #1, looking for a 1-1 sweep in this one.
Kelana Humphrey leading early.
Keep it smooth, son. Keep it smooth. Sit up.
Kelana Humphrey into the rhythm section once again, coming around out front right now with a 1.8 second lead. Kelana Humphrey has already taken the national championship title in one class. Can he do it again in a second class?
Come on.
And he's got it. Fist bump. Yes. Kelana Humphrey right there.
His seat fell off.
I don't know. He's still not
his seat
sitting.
Fell off, Mike, because he's looking down.
Oh, it did.
Something going on there. Yeah, his seat fell off.
So Kelana, that was a pretty special race for you, and I heard that your seat fell off?
Yeah, my seat fell off in the sand section. Luckily, I got to a pretty good start and had a pretty good lead. So I just rode the whole race without my seat and had fun.
If Taylor Allred is to capture the women's class championship, she'll have to navigate through a loaded field that includes Landry Hazen, Melissa Brock, and more.
So I want you to be super smart your first couple laps, but we need a sprint. We need to get away in case something happens. You have that gap, okay?
I've got a decent gap, but everyone's telling you.
Yeah, I want a little bit more. But so not in the rhythms. Be smart in your rhythms, but make it up elsewhere. Make it up in your straightaways. Make it up, but not stay smart.
You've been in this spot up several times. You always get it done. Stand up, be prepared, you know, for lappers and stuff, okay?
Off and underway. The 34 right there, all red. No, it's going to be, I believe that's the 90 of Landry Hazen. It's all going to come down to this for the national championship title between these two.
Go. Inside. There we go.
All red already trying down the inside.
Yeah, trying to make a move there.
Settle down, honey. Settle down.
Oh, hang on. Here comes Allred outside.
Not going to be quite close enough to make anything happen out of it. Out of Monster Alley they go.
And here's a battle, Mike.
Boy, look at this. Allred up the inside right here. Allred's got the line going in the corner. Hazen's going to have to cut under. Oh, makes a little mistake there. Dabs her foot. Takes the inside line here. And the checkered flag awaits Taylor Allred, your women's national champion.
Here you are, the first woman up on this podium. What do you see for yourself in the future, as well as all of the women in Supercross?
Honestly, anything's possible for all women in this sport. You know, the Futures is an amazing organization to get us a good idea of what it's going to be like when we go pro.
Part of the joy in reaching the biggest stage is savoring what it took to get there. The demands, the pressure, the sacrifice. For the next stars in Monster Energy Supercross, the path to the biggest stage is through Supercross Futures, a 10-round championship stretching across the United States. Although their stories are not yet complete, it doesn't mean there's any less pride in their approach, because what it took to get there, few dare to attempt. The future is here. For more information on how to register for 2020 Supercross Futures, visit register.supercrossfutures.com.